plays Magic the Gathering Arena Brawl deck techs and gameplay sessions. We're continuing to do this randomizing, playing all the different legendary creatures and planeswalkers in Historic Brawl. I have for you today Tyvar Kell in a budget form. So we have about 11 rares in the deck. He's a 4 mana, 4 loyalty planeswalker. Your elves tap for a black mana. You can untap an elf and put 2/1 counters on it against Death Touch. The 0, you get to make a token. And then it's -7. If you can get this off, you're pretty golden. Being able to draw 2 cards and give your elves haste every time you cast an elf. It's a very powerful effect. So the rares that I've chosen right now for this deck are as follows. I've picked 4 lands. You kind of really want your mana base to be good. So having the Pathway, the Glade, Overgrown Tomb, and the Woodland Cemetery helps you cast your spells. And then the rares I've picked are rares that you will want to craft if you are looking at playing historic elves. So like Allosaur, Shepherd, making it so that your green spells can't be countered. Elvish Warmaster gives you extra elves once a turn when you cast an elf, or when an elf enters the battlefield, I should say. And it also has a game-ending ability of giving your elves +2/+2. Leaf Crown Dryad, or Leaf Crown Visionary, I should say, is an anthem for your elves, so they get +1/+1. And whenever you cast an elf spell, you can draw a card, so you're getting some card draw. Merowin gets bigger, and as it gets bigger, it taps for more mana when elves come into play. Elvish Archdruid taps to add mana with the amount of elves that you control, and also anthems them. Freylee's Skyward Partition helps you ramp by untapping an elf and then giving one of your elves in your hand +1/+1. And then I use it for its -1 of seeking an elf, so it just keeps drawing you cards. And then if you actually want to try and get it to its -6, getting a Regal Force onto the battlefield is very powerful. And then the last mythic that we have that is crafted for the deck is the Craterhoof Behemoth. The 5 mana 8/8. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control get trample and get +X/X until the end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. So I picked these rares here as rares that are good to craft if you're looking to play historic elves. The Rampaging Brontodon is one of the starter deck, and it's just a nice top end thing. 7 mana, 7/7 trample, and then when it attacks, it gets +1/+1 until the end of turn for each land you control. So if you're just starting out, you have this in your collection already. And then the rest are just like common and uncommon elf good stuff and some removal spells. So let's get into the game. If you hang around to the end, we can look at a more, I call it elf balls to the walls, which is the kind of full-on mythic rare hungry deck. So we're going to play with the budget version, and then we can take a look at the end of the video of a non-budget version of Tyvar Kell. All right, let's get into a few games. All right. Yeah, we can keep this. We have it's not a creature ramp spell, but it is a ramp spell. We're playing Snow for the Boreal Outrider and for the other 2 mana dork. So we'll keep this. Our opponent gets to go first, and we are Jhoira Weatherlight Captain is our opponent. We'll play this tapped. This is typically like a historic spell. So artifacts, legendary sagas. I want to call it a combo-ish kind of thing, where it wants to just play a whole bunch of spells and then draw a whole bunch of cards. Typically, the Cold Steel Heart we put on green, because our deck is a lot more green hungry than it is anything else. So they have an uncontested Jhoira, which could be scary. I'm going to play... Do I play Merowin? Yeah, I think I play Merowin. It's probably going to get removed, but let's see if they can go off. Alright, so what does this thing do? Huh, so it just finds an artifact. Gotcha. Alright, Ichor. Wellspring. So I'm not going to go off this turn anyways. Um, One of the reasons I really like playing Tyvar Kell in a budget form is you don't go up against like the 5-color slivers and the 5-color the first sliver kind of deal. You don't go up against that kind of nonsense. All right, so we can do this and do the Boreal Outrider into this. Okay, with snow into, might as well do this. Going to go grab our Crater Hoof. So the deck only has 2 hits with the Fierce Empath, our Crater Hoof, and our Rampaging Brontodon. I do think that's enough. So next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have enough to play this, and it will come in as a 10-10, and everything will get +5/+5. I don't think that'll get us the W, but or we could start ramping in with Tyvar Kell here and make our board wider. Kind of force them to deal with the board with the threat of Crater Hoof. Although them being blue and red, they'll have, obviously, they don't think they can beat a Crater Hoof. Sometimes just finding the Crater Hoof wins you the game. All right, on to the next one. All right, this is definitely not a keepable hand. Well, what we're playing against is definitely interesting. Mulligan. This isn't all that much better. Go to 6. Keep our 6. We will put away this one. Got tap land on 1. Alright, so Josu, Vess, Lich, Knight. I have no idea what this wants to do. We'll put it on black because we need double black here. Alright, so this is a 4 mana 4/5, and it has a kicker of 6, so 10 mana in total. We'll play out this Cold Steel Heart on green. This has been a really cool card for me. I would have never thought about playing it because when I first put the deck together, I kind of just put all commons and uncommons. I guess they're really working to ramp up to this 10. We'll do this. We'll make a duder. Alright, so when you kick this, it enters the battlefield, create 8 2/2 black zombie knights. So players can't. Whoa, that's rude. Can I go find a removal spell for it? I guess I could have used my. Nope. I guess we find a land here. I don't want to miss my land drops. We'll grab a forest. Maybe I should have played this one. Oh, I can still do this. Get rid of that. Ain't nobody got time for that. They must not be playing Planeswalkers in their deck. I don't know. Sure. All right, so you can do this. Gonna start plussing. Your courage is legendary. Just going to start making the pluses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're close to being able to sure. Had 1 life's not gonna change much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so we can do that. Plus here. Come on, we can do this. Get in for 5. And they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. All right, another quick and easy win. On to the next one. All right, up against Simic Aggro. This is definitely a keepable hand for sure. Get to go first, which is nice. Ivy, Gleeful, Spelltheif. So this is the one where if it gets targeted only a single creature, you may have it target Gleeful Spelltheif as well. That was a nice draw. We shall play our elf. Probably play out Tyvar Kell. I'm assuming this survives. Although there could be a whole bunch of different counter spells that they could run. Rampity ramp. All right. I want to do this. All right.
There's enough glory for all of us.
I think we're gonna have to get on the aggro train though, because this is a very annoying creature to deal with. Especially with all the pump spells and the ramp spells. Or the pump spells are very annoying. Right, so let's put this on green. And then do this. Cast this. Plus this here.
Your courage is legendary.
Ew. No block. Okay. Let's go. This is a scary place to be. So this currently does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. All right. They now have a 3/2 ward. What, 1/1? Sure. That draws a card when it deals damage to a player. Then what? This. All right, same deal. So now they get to draw 2 cards. Block. They have a pump spell. They have a pump spell. All right, let the card advantage begin. Sure. Well, that was not a very ideal draw. Let's do this. Do they have a bounce spell? Do this. Might as well play them all out. Coming in hot. You can trade your 1/2 for my 4/1. Are they gonna pump? Sure. Oh, they gain 4 life. All right. You're at 10. They get to draw 3 cards now with this, right? Because they can disturb it here. Oh, they're gonna draw a metric butt ton of cards this turn. All right. I hope you have something to deal with my, or at least something to block with. or bounce. So with this +1, sure. Sure, 2 blockers. All right, so with this +1, I will put it here, because if they want to bounce something, this is what I want them to bounce. Here. What does this one do?
We can do this.
All right, we're gonna get rid of the Polywog Symbiote. And we're going to attack with all. And I think they're dead, unless they have a bounce spell. Boom, boom, boom. Aggro v aggro. All right, we got time for one more. Win or lose, board wipe or not, we will go talk about the video after one more game. Let's do it. Okie dokie. Yeah, this is definitely a keep. This is a pretty solid 1-drop. This is a good finisher if we can get there. So let's keep this. Up against Nethroi, Apex of Death, or the Bilotant Plant Beast form, 5 mana, 5/5, has Mutate, of 4 and 3. Now we're gonna do this into this. So when it mutates, you can return any number of creatures with total mana or total power 10 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. We'll do this, and we will do it on green, and we will put our oil counter here, and we'll say go. I know there are some kill spells that are like destroy target tap creature or whatever. It's an interesting one. I think I'm gonna go here, here, and we'll put one more oil counter on this, and then we can use it 2 times. But we could start attacking with it now if we need to. I feel like we have a lot of mana. They did mulligan to 5, or 6, I should say. So this might be a quick one. That's an interesting Reanimator style of the deck. Nothing to get back yet with this. And keep drawing land is probably not the best for us. This here. You can tap this to add that. Untap that.
Your courage is legendary.
Why do you want me to do that? This? This? Attack? For 12. Alright. We got lethal on board next turn as long as we don't go boom. Alright, Skrell's not gonna do it. What is that? Whenever this creature mutates... okay, so we can just exile that. And then we can do what we did last time. This. Plus. Here. Got there. Alright, let's go talk about the deck. Talk about the non-budget version. Then do our randomizer for our next video. Let's get to it. All right, that was our Tyvar Budget Elfball. Before we go talk about that, let's take a quick gander at what a deck looks like. That's kind of not budget. So like Pet Collector, I just think like the deck that you can build off budget with no restrictions for rares, mythics, and wildcards. Craterhoof we had in our other deck, but things like Vorinclex, Defiler, of vigor, and then just a whole bunch of really solid mid-rangey plus things like the Beast Whisperer helps you draw cards. I'm not quite sure if there's a rare mythic count in this client. It doesn't look like it. Can we go rare? Enter? Nope. I'm not sure how to look at that, but there are a fairly large number of rares and mythics in this more off budget one. Tyvar Jubilant Brawler, very good at making your mana dorks tap instantaneously when they enter the battlefield. If you want to see a more in-depth take on this deck, Patreon is in the link below. I have a $1 tier that is kind of just a supporting tier, and then a $5 tier where I do some extra content, pack openings, deck techs, more in-depth deck techs. There'll be an in-depth deck tech of both the budget version and the non-budget version, and maybe a little bit of gameplay of this non-budget version in the Patreon. So if you want to support the channel and get some extra content, that is a good place to go. Let's go back to the deck that we played for this video. So this budget version, I got to play with some surprising cards that were actually quite fun. The Swarm Guild Mage, its ability is actually a lot more powerful, and at 5 mana it's a little bit expensive, but it's definitely something that can win you the game. The menace is very relevant. Where is it? This one, Assemble the Team. I really think this is actually a quite cool card. So search the top third of your library, round it up for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle. When your deck is kind of built around being semi-redundant, this Assemble a Team is a perfectly serviceable tutor for a deck like this. And it's even in the non-budget version, I think this card is quite valuable, and it's a lot better than I would have thought. So those are a couple of the cards that playing. Let's just kind of go through here. What are some other ones? This Urborg Uprising, we didn't get to see it being played here, but for 3 mana to get 2 good permanents from your graveyard into your hand again and gaining 2 life, really, really powerful effect that can come into play very often. And this Rampaging Brontodon, I'm not going to play it in a non-budget version, but in a budget version, when you're not looking to play invest a whole bunch of wild cards, this is a very serviceable top end for a green deck. So Tyvar Kell, Budget Elves, Budget Elfball. It's a lot of fun. It takes you out of playing against the First Sliver and Rushok or whatever that Demir guy is called, and puts you down into a lower tier where you get to play like against Jhoira, Weatherlight Captain, and our game against Josu Vess. Those are decks you're not going to play against when you're full elf balls to the walls. So being a budget version of the deck is I think is a good thing. Like I said before, and I hope you like, subscribe, and notify. Patreon is in the link below. There'll be a deck tech, an in-depth deck tech on this deck, and an in-depth deck tech on the actual full-on elf ball to the walls, I like to call it. Tyvar Kell Historic Brawl deck. Time to go and see what our next commander will be. Let's make it happen. All right. There are 768 in the spinner. We have more coming very soon with the Innistrad remastered set coming to MTG Arena. So that's number's going to jump up. But for now, 768 on the spinner. Let's check it out. 3, 2, 1, blast off. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Kemba Ka Enduring, one of the newer ones. So this is whenever Kemba Ka Enduring or another cat enters a battlefield under your control, Attach up to 1 target equipment you control to that creature. Equipped creatures you control get +1/+1. We have 5 mana to make a 2/2 white cat creature token. So we've done a similar deck to Kemba here with what's it called? Benalia's New Hope, or whatever the card is in 5 mana, 4/4 lifelink, first strike, vigilance. So that'll probably be a card in the 99 of this Kemba Ka Enduring deck. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. Remember, like, subscribe, notify. Patreon's in the link in the description below. Thank you, Jimmy Colorado, for your support on Patreon. We also have a Discord that is a fun place to talk all things Magic. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.